now open to become a Nebraska State Trooper. Numerous career paths, unlimited potential, making a difference for the people in communities all across Nebraska. Apply today at nebraskatroopers.com.
This is how we do every day. We be grinding, and if you want to come and text us,
if you love them enough to turn off your music and pretend like their music is your music.
This is Mommy's jam.
Then surely you'll check nhtsa.gov/the right seat to make sure they're in the right car seat.
Let's play it again.
Check today at nhtsa.gov/the right seat. Brought to you by the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration and the Ad Council.
This is Lincoln's home for sports talk on the FM dial. Also online at theticketfm.com.
On the internet.
KNTK FM Firth, 93.7 The Ticket.
Hello.
Angela, we have to break up.
But why?
Because you're a robot and I'm just a guy trying to get better internet.
It's Allo Fiber, isn't it? I always knew you wanted faster speeds. My contract isn't good enough for you.
Face it, Angela. They let me talk to real people.
Press 4 to break my heart. Oh wait, you already did.
Visit allofiber.com to switch today.
Welcome into The Breeze with DP and Haas on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com. Brought to you by Canopy Street Market.
Welcome to it on a Sunday. Appreciate y'all hanging out with us here on The Ticket. The Starter Heyman text line, 402-464-5685. If you want to be a part of what we're doing, if you have questions for our guest, great opportunity to ask, great opportunity to be a part of what we're doing. You can follow on all of the streams, Facebook, YouTube, X, and locally, Allo, channel 961. If you're fancy, you can jump on over to Amazon Prime and catch it there as well. It's a great day to be a part of what we're doing. I want to thank our Haas's coaching today. So I needed a tag team partner to help me get through this hour, and it's the introduction and the reintroduction for me. That this gentleman, I'm blessed enough to call him a friend. We're homies in the fullest sense. But before we give his name, Harrison, if you would, let's tease the water a little bit.
And they're not just carrying buckets, ladies and gentlemen. They're carrying WWF Gold Tag Team Championship Gold.
Tag Team Champions, Phineas and Henry, the Godwinns.
Second time the Godwinns have been WWF Tag Team Champions.
Multiple time Tag Team Champions.
Matchup, the Godwinns accepted the
and most importantly, just a really good dude. I will apologize in advance because there's zero chance that we can get to everything we want to get to. We may have to use the dump button a time or two because when Mark gets it going, sometimes we're not quite sure where the story's going to go. But and then as well, I will dance between calling him Henry and calling him Mark. And forgive me in advance, but it's my buddy, it's my dude, it's my homie, Mark Canterbury. Big fella, thank you for doing this. But first of all, happy birthday.
Thank you, DP. I've been waiting on this. We are homies, ain't we?
I try to explain that to people and just go that our hometown is such a unique little spot. And that we were raised in such unique circumstances that our friends look like everybody, which made it easiest for us to get along with everybody. And I would imagine that that's a part of the bond, and knowing that you come from, we know where you come from, we know what kind of person you are. And it's been the best part of cheering for you all these years is knowing where you come from and who you are. And you're a good-hearted dude. You're a gentle giant. And nobody smiles bigger than Mark Canterbury. So happy birthday, brother. Welcome to you're in the 61 club now, right?
Oh, yeah. Big 6'1".
Yeah, bruh. You and me with gray hair. I'm still trying to figure out how that happened. I want to talk to you because there's a couple of things that we've talked about. And I know that you need to have your own show, first of all. And we're going to make that happen. Like I need the guarantee. I need the Mark Canterbury guarantee, because you are one of the best storytellers to ever do it. And I just think you need a vehicle where you can have your buddies on and have these conversations.
A bus. We'll get a bus.
Let's go through. We jokingly say this, that you were as good an athlete as the county produced, and it was fun watching that. And Harrison, we've talked about this. Can you imagine at 6'6"? I think Mark was 6'6" at age 12. He was right, like he was a giant amongst men, amongst boys, but he was a great athlete, and you could always see that something great. And I think it carried over into wrestling. When did you know that wrestling was going to be a part of your life long term?
Oh my God, it's funny. I was into it a little there in Arlington, but when I would come to West Virginia down here in Monroe County, my papa, they got like 3 channels. They lived up on a mountain here in Appalachia. They got like 3 channels with rabbit ears. And one of them was wrestling out of Oak Hill, West Virginia. It used to be the capital of wrestling around here. And I just always loved it and grew up with it. And, and then watching in Arlington, we got WWWF, which was Ivan Putski, Junkyard Dog, Andre the Giant, all the old. And I was fortunate enough to grow up watching JYD, Junkyard Dog, and got to wrestle him a lot in WCW. So, yeah, and then wrestling in high school, it's different wrestling, but got to wrestle 3 years at Wakefield. Moved down here to West Virginia, and they didn't even know what wrestling was. They didn't know. I moved into the sticks. They didn't know wrestling was a sport. So, but yeah, I've always liked wrestling. And I was working at a hospital here in Princeton and met Gorgeous George South, an Italian stallion, and started training with them. And they started taking me to WCW and being an extra down there. And Eric Watts had just graduated from Louisville, playing quarterback up there, and his dad, Cowboy Bill Watts, and Dusty had taken over and was running the show in Atlanta there in WCW. So I worked as myself that night, me and Mark, and worked.
Might have a Wi-Fi delay here.
Mayor,
we'll give it a little bit and see if it comes back.
Frozen. This is the part of it, right? That trained by the best, right?
Mm-hmm.
That decision, and he was an impressive athlete. Again, baseball, wrestling, football. Was recruited.
There we are.
There you go. We got him back. There we go. Yeah, we froze you for a minute.
Back in HD this time.
Right. You mentioned the Italian side of George South, and then coming in that it's Bill Watts and Dusty Rhodes. I mean, that era of wrestling, there was a mystique because there was no internet, so we weren't really being fed information like we are now. Sure. How would you do in today's version of pro wrestling with kayfabe kind of set aside for clicks and exposure? Do you prefer the old way, or do you prefer today's version where great exposure, but there's some cost to it?
I like the old school. I'll never change,
kayfabe,
and I don't know, just back when I was in, like I was saying, I went down this one night and worked Eric Watts, and after the match, they had come up, the office come up and said, "Hey, Cowboy liked your all's match and Dusty liked it, and they were wanting to know if you could work Eric sometime." And I said, "Yeah, when?" They go, "Well, can you leave tonight?" So I'm in Atlanta. I got the clothes on my back that I wore down there in my little bag of gear. So Arn Anderson and Italian Stallion are giving me clothes to take for a week on the road. And yeah, so that's how it started with me. And then I worked Eric a little bit, and then they brought Phineas in. He was working in Memphis. So they brought him in and put us together, and man, that's the end of 91. So we've been partners since 91. Never had
Mark,
a crossword.
Who was your first match against? Was that the if I remember the stories, some of your first matches, I mean, it was Eric Watts, Brad Armstrong. Those were some of the folks that you were starting off against, right?
Elegante, PN News, Ron Simmons, Sting, Johnny B. Bad. That's some of the people I worked before I got my job when I was just Mean Mark.
Yeah, you were just working under name, and then the different things. And I don't think I've ever told you this, but I was such a huge fan of of Shanghai Pierce because I thought that had legs. I thought that was going to be your thing. Where did you come up with, or who came up with Shanghai Pierce?
Well, back to Dusty. Dusty liked the old Westerns. So one of his favorites was the gunfight at OK Corral. Well, in the movie, in the story, there's two Texas cattlemen, I think, ranchers, whatever. One of them is Tex Slazenger, and the other is Shanghai Pierce. So Dusty took them two and put them together, and I'll tell you the whole story. Dusty come up with that, and he goes, Mark, I think we're going to have to put you in a mask. You got a baby face. You're too pretty. He said, Dennis, he don't need a mask. He's ugly enough and mean looking. So that's how I wore a mask and Phineas didn't.
Yeah, it is true. Like Mark had presence, which not everybody has naturally. Mark has presence. And again, at 6'6", what'd you wrestle at? 310, 315?
You mean in high school?
No, and when you went pro, how big were you?
Oh, I was like 280 in WCW, and when I got up to WWF, my end of the career was 325. Wow.
Just, I mean, and being athletic, and that was a different era of the athletic big men, right? You were asked to do more. You took bigger risks.
Yeah.
Yeah, I find that interesting. You mentioned Dennis because the really cool part about pro wrestling are the relationships, right? The friendships and brotherhoods, and you've had some unique ones. Dennis being paramount amongst those. Tell us a little bit about Dennis, about Phineas, about about Tex. Like he's your guy, right?
Yeah, he's a Tampa boy, born and raised, Clearwater, that area. Just a big teddy bear. It's funny how our little crew was like Yoko, and just everybody was just sweethearts. And matter of fact, I talked to Godfather today. I'll be seeing him out here next month. But Dennis, yeah, he was played some football, had a scholarship to Salem College in West Virginia.
Yeah.
And played a year, messed his shoulder up, and then went back to Tampa. He was doing a lot of bouncing, working at strip clubs there in Tampa, and then he got into wrestling, and he stuck with it, and paid his dues and was in Memphis, and then they called him up, and me and him got together, and our families were real close, and so it was a treat. And then just to be able to read each other in the ring after we got together, after about 6 months, we knew what each other was thinking in the ring, and it was easy, and the chemistry, and Arn was a teacher, helped us a lot. We hung out with Arn and Barry Windham in WCW, so we had some good mentors, some good teachers, and some good friends.
You found, you found your guys naturally and authentically, and I think that's pretty cool and how those things work. I always wondered this. You were part of another faction, but it was kind of behind the scenes. And it's a pretty impressive group of wrestlers and men. And I always wondered why that faction with Undertaker, Yokozuna, Godfather, why that didn't go public, why that didn't become a part of the whole deal.
Well, I broke my neck at the end there, and we were getting ready to do a new gimmick. But as far as the BSK, man, what an honor to be part of that crew. Like I said, I would go out to Cali and stay with Yoko. If we were out there, he'd say, "Yeah, come to the house," and man, we'd have them big Samoan meals and just get spoiled. But and then I went to Godfather's house, and I've been to Taker's house. We've even stayed at Shawn Michaels' house in San Antonio. So, we've had the pleasure of hanging around a good crew. And back then, man, what an era that era back then. Just I look at pictures now and just amazes me what we went through, and we all survived. And with the injuries, and we've lost a few guys, but it was just a good time to be in the wrestling business.
Through all of it, you mentioned, I mean, Dennis being kind of your road buddy, right? That's the guy that you travel with. I think I read somewhere that you were roommates, along the way, which is a whole time. That's a whole other Mark Canterbury After Dark series that we could have. Talking about that part of the deal, but hanging out with the Godfather and Undertaker. What makes Taker? What makes him so unique?
Oh, just I don't know. There's a calmness about him, but you feel like he's in control. I mean, it's just he was just a good dude and one of our brothers, and that was the big thing about the BSK. You had Taker and Godfather and Yoko and me, and Phineas come up a year later after me. I went up there first, and then he joined about a year later. And then we had Rikishi and Paul Bear and Savio and Crush, Brian Adams, which was he was like an honorary member. But we were just a bunch of big dudes that hung out at the show. That's how we started playing Bones, the dominoes.
Yep.
And we just always hung out together. We went out together. We ate together. We did everything together. So it was just a good bunch of dudes that liked hanging out. And we even hung out a lot off the road, outside of the ring, which is a nice feeling that you got some brothers you can hang with, and they'll be there for you.
Mark, is it true? I mean, it's how I land on it that Yokozuna is maybe the greatest champion that we know the least about.
I could say that, yeah. And but if you knew Rodney, you knew what a sweetheart he was. He would give you the shirt off his back, and I've had so many good times with him. And we've roomed together, and I drove him a lot, around, chauffeuring him around, and it was just good experience with them guys. But yeah, he was definitely talking about athletic. And I got to wrestle him in India. And what a treat that was. We laughed our ass off. It was so funny over there because we're in Gandhi Arena, and there's like over 100,000 people, but it's at night, and they had 4 lights, and in each corner of the ring was a big spotlight just down on the ring.
Yeah.
And hot, and you could just see people right around the ring. You couldn't see out in there, but there was over 100,000 people there. And Yoko did not like bugs, and there was some bugs flying around them lights and hitting on us, and he was selling it. He was scared to death. So I'm trying not to laugh over there, but we had a good little match, and Just what a treat to work with.
Mark, who was the favorite? Who was your favorite opponent? Like the folks that you loved working with the most. Didn't have to have the best matches, but the people that when you saw your name across from theirs that night on the card, you knew you were going to put on a good show.
Yeah. Of course, Hunter, me and Triple H were married for like 6 months. He got slopped every night. He was a trooper, and we'd have to wash our gear out every night and hang it up in the hotel and hope that it dried and didn't stink the next day. But yeah, Hunter was one of my favorites. I just watched the match yesterday. Me and Brett, the Hitman, had. I loved working Brett. Got to work with Taker and Kevin Nash. Had a good match with them. I wish we could have done more. As far as when Phineas come up, we got to work the Headbangers a lot. Bradshaw and Wyndham, the Blackjacks, we worked them. There was Davey and Owen, British Bulldog and Owen Hart. So there was a lot of good tags back then. And it was a lot of fun. Them guys made it fun, and everybody got along back then. There was no really big egos, and with the BSK, that was another thing. We always were there for each other. Like if we had questions about a match or we needed some input on a match coming up or something, that was the cool thing about our little group, that everybody sort of helped and pitched in when it was needed. So
yeah,
good time.
Yeah, and Mark, it's fascinating. And first of all, thank you for it. Just I'm glowing here to hear you talk about this thing that you love so much, because it takes us down the path again. We're gonna go to break. When we come back, Mark, and again, I get mad because there's no way we can talk about everything I want to talk about in the course of an hour. That's why he needs to have his own show. Yeah, that's why he needs to have his own show. But here's what I want. I like to think of myself as a walking miracle. You are one of the great mysteries to life, because you have gone through some things that most humans couldn't survive one of them. You've survived them all, and not only survived in it, but thrived in it. So we'll talk about the life of Mark Canterbury, because you, sir, you are a walking miracle. I want to say it to you as often as possible, but we'll go through that. Mark Canterbury, Henry Godwinn, here on The Breeze on the Ticket.
LES wants your feedback. Help shape your electric utility's direction and priorities by taking an anonymous online survey. Make your voice heard before the survey closes on April 30th at les.com/survey.
How would you like to be a part of the team bringing Lincoln's real sports talk to the city, the state, and beyond? 93.7 The Ticket is looking for experienced producers to help share the stories that matter. From Husker athletics to high school sports, national news to small college stories, you can be a part of informing and entertaining the greatest fans in radio. Apply today at theticketfm.com or bring your resume by our studio located at 1040 O Street in the heart of downtown Lincoln.
Why are some people more successful? Is it talent and determination, or did they recognize an opportunity? Discover a career that lets you help families reach their financial goals as you build lasting professional relationships. One with unlimited income potential. From Modern Woodman, a leading fraternal financial services provider.
I'm Modern Woodman Regional Director Sean Erickson. Call me at 402-483-6515 to learn about career opportunities.
Modern Woodman of America. Touching lives, securing futures.
Have you been injured in an accident and don't know where to turn? Do you need a lawyer you can trust to handle your case with professionalism and compassion? The attorneys at Liberty Law understand that a call to an attorney is a call for help. If you've been injured, we want to help you. Liberty Law's experienced attorneys are committed to the pursuit of justice for those injured. Contact us for a free consultation by calling 877-42-LIBERTY. Call Liberty Law and find out how we can help get you the compensation you deserve. Call 877-42-LIBERTY. Liberty Law Group. Trial attorneys you can trust.
At Lincoln Family Chiropractic, they believe everyone deserves to live a pain-free and active life. Whether it's neck pain, shoulder pain, or lower back pain, Lincoln Family Chiropractic specializes in customized care for every patient to promote faster healing, allowing you to get back to an optimal life. Lincoln Family Chiropractic's team specializes in treatments such as dry needling, cupping therapy, and traditional adjustments. Give Lincoln Family Chiropractic a call today, 402-484-5166. Visit them online at lincolnfamilychiro.com or in person, 1 block south of 70th and 8th Street in Lincoln.
Hi, it's Joel Norman, the voice of your Lincoln Stars hockey team. Tune in to 93.7 The Ticket to hear the latest on the Stars with myself, head coach Rocky Russo, and special player guests.
Hey Husker Nation, this is Todd Euler, two-time national champion, here to talk to you about Window World Lincoln. At Window World, we specialize in replacement windows, doors, siding, and roofing. Whether you're looking to enhance the beauty of your home or increase its energy efficiency, we've got you covered. And here's the best part. We offer the best for less. Our team is dedicated to providing top quality products and exceptional service at affordable prices. We want to earn your business and make your home improvement dreams a reality. So why wait? Contact Window World Lincoln today at 464-7313 or visit our website at windowworldlincoln.com. Window World Lincoln, where quality meets affordability.
Shopping for new flooring is different today. Getting your questions answered, making the right selection, getting the best value, and installed quickly and professionally. Visit ostreetcarpet.com or shop our store. We'll answer all your questions and help you make the right choice. You'll be enjoying your new floor in just days for less than you'd pay elsewhere. Carpet, vinyl, wood, laminate, tile, and area rugs. We've got it all.
O Street Carpet.
1732 O Street. Family owned and operated. Always the best value.
When you were a kid, clubs were cool. Robotics club and space club and stuff like that. But what do adults get? Book clubs and quilting clubs? Nah, forget that. How about margarita clubs and old-fashioned clubs? Get to Upside Bar and Lounge for the best clubs in town. Try all 10 varieties of Upside margaritas or old fashions and take home a free souvenir glass. Grab the whole crew and pair it with taco night on Mondays or whiskey Wednesdays. Upside Bar and Lounge at 29th and Pine Lake.
Hello.
Angela, we have to break up.
But why?
Because you're a robot and I'm just a guy trying to get better internet.
It's Aloe Fiber, isn't it? I always knew you wanted faster speeds. My contract isn't good enough for you.
Face it, Angela, they let me talk to real people.
Press 4 to break my heart. Oh wait, you already did.
Visit aloefiber.com to switch today.
Hi, Sean Callahan here of HuskerOnline.com, inviting you to join us here on 93.7 The Ticket every Saturday morning now. In our new time, we're on from 8 to 9 with the weekly Husker Online radio show. We'll give you the latest in recruiting. We'll talk about what's going on with both football, basketball, and we'll probably share a few stories from the inside. It's every Saturday morning right here on 93.7 The Ticket. It's the Husker Online radio show from 8 to 9 a.m.
You're listening to The Breeze with DP and Haas on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Welcome back. The Breeze on a Sunday. Husker Breezy is coaching this week, so I had to tag in a big man, get some work in. Had to call in the homie, Mark Canterbury, Henry Godwinn, the Henry O. Godwinn, H-O-G, hog. Yeah, which is all pretty good stuff. Mark, here's the deal. I have something for you. I have a Black Knight shirt for you.
Oh, my God. Do you really?
Yeah, I need to. Hey, look, got him in big man size, too. So listen.
Oh, my gosh.
Yeah. I'll text you and send you Black Knight's hat, Black Knight shirt. Just
that
to
would
say,
be awesome.
and then right, and then I need some BSK stuff. I've got in my office. I've got your WWE standalone. I've got your little character,
the action figure.
Yeah, the action figure, bib overalls, yellow shirt. Yeah, man, I've got you. You made it to Lincoln, Nebraska, bro. I have to say.
Yeah.
Did you ever wrestle here? Did you ever wrestle Omaha, Lincoln?
Yeah.
This town loves its wrestling.
We got Joseph on the text line. He said he was there in Omaha for a hog pen match versus Hunter Hurst Helmsley.
Yeah, against Triple H
back
in the day. You know, I didn't know that was done here. Well done. Well done. Hey, Mark, so to tell your story and to celebrate it the right way, you are a miracle. One, tell folks, I mean, again, you speak so casually about it now, but having your neck broken in a match is and then finding some way to be successful around it. Please tell that story for our for folks who have not heard you talk about that night against the Road Warriors.
Yeah, it was in Binghamton, New York, and I didn't feel comfortable doing it because Hawk wasn't in his right mind that night. And I talked to the office, and I didn't stooge him out. That, back then that was a big thing in our code, wrestling code.
Yeah.
If you're stooge, you're screwed. So
yeah.
And I loved them guys, and I didn't want to do that, but I just told the office, I said, I'm not comfortable doing this move. I didn't say why. And they said, and then Animal had spoke up and said, well, instead of you doing the flip, I'll just go down with you, like the electric chair, they call it.
Yeah.
And the office didn't want that. They wanted me to. And then Phineas spoke up and said, well, I've taken it before. I'll take it. And the office said, no, they want Henry to take it and take the flip. So sure enough, I did, and landed on my head and cracked my C7. And it didn't knock me out, but I seen that big flash, and I was laying there, and I felt something in my mouth like sand, but it was pieces of teeth that had chipped off. So Hillbilly had jumped up and asked me if I was all right. I said, yeah, I just pulled a muscle, I think. So I got up and walked to the back, and I got back there, and they took my overalls down to my waist and told me to lay on a cold concrete floor because my body was starting to tighten up where it was trying to protect what all was going on in there. And so they took me to the hospital in Binghamton, and there was an Indian doctor working. He was pretty good to me. And he said, yeah, you got a cracked C7. You need to go home and wait about 14 weeks and go get another MRI and then go from there. Well, in 7 weeks, I was back on the road. I called the office and said, hey, I think I'm ready to come back. So I went back, and we started wrestling. We were doing the Southern Justice thing. Jeff Jarrett was managing us at the time. And so went back and started wrestling again. And we just started the new gimmick. And we were wrestling Road Dogg and Badass Billy Gunn that night. I think it was in September. It was Monday Night Raw, and they told us that day, said, they're going to drop the belts to y'all tonight. So we were excited. And then when I got about time to go out, Vince had come through and said, hey, we're not going to do the belts because we think you might have to go home and get checked out. But I had wrestled 7 weeks like this. I come back in 7 weeks and wrestled 7 weeks with a broken neck. And Vince had a trainer with me that would work on me every night and give me the I be hopins and and ice me and massage me and heat and everything. And it just kept getting worse. I could do 90-pound dumbbells with this arm, and I couldn't do 15 with this arm. It had pinched the nerve, and I was losing muscle. So I figured I had to do something. So I had the surgery done, and they let me go after that. And, it just, that's the way the business is. I don't hate the business. I don't have any resentments, but, maybe you should have listened to me.
Yeah.
But,
Mark, it's like the humanity in it right now, just going for us mortals, right? For us mortal humans walking around. and to know, I mean, Hawk and Animal, you're at the apex of the business. You're talking about going toe-to-toe with the tag team of all tag teams, the physical phenoms of all physical phenoms, and going through and having this happen. And you're so badass that you know what? I need to go to work because there were no perks and benefits, right? You had to work, and the business waited for no one.
Yeah, you felt like, and I get asked that question on podcasts sometimes. Yeah, I did feel like I had to go back to work because they made me feel that way. Because time doesn't stop just because you broke your damn neck.
Yeah.
Things carry on. Just when we pass away and we go on to the afterlife, things don't stop for us. It keeps rolling along. But that's the way, and that's fine. That's the way the business was, and that's the way the guys were treated, and should have been treated better in some aspects. But yeah, I loved my career. I loved the guys I was around, and I'd take a bullet for them. And we've been fortunate to have friends like Kevin Nash. I'm talking WCW days in '92. That's how long we've known Kevin and Hunter, and so it's been a nice ride. And I would change a couple things. I wouldn't break my damn neck for one, but
right,
learning and being on the road and doing what you're doing is part of growing up. And I think it helped me be a better person. I always respected my coworkers, and I expected it back from them. You treat people the way you want to be treated. So that's the way I went in the business. And George South said, go and listen and ask a few questions and just take it all in and have a good attitude. And I've done that, and I've got respect back, and I've respected everybody I've been around.
You went through that, came back, 7 or 8 years later, and had another run.
2006.
Right, that in that run, and we talk about this, fans talk about the WrestleManias and the moments, but you live the moments. So walk me through coming back and the first match back after the broken neck, like after you heal, in air quotes, and then put yourself back, and you go straight back to the big league. So walk us through what goes through your head wrestling with a recovered broken neck.
It didn't bother me at all. I was okay shape, but I'd went back, and they'd put me with an older guy who Terry Gordy, one of the Freebirds. His son was starting, so they put us together, and we didn't click. We didn't have any chemistry, and I was so used to Phineas for 20 some years that it's hard turning it off and turning it on with somebody else. But I was in a bad place. I'd broke my neck, lost my job, lost my son in 2003. So I just think mentally and a little physically, I wasn't ready to go back at the time. And I think I was in better shape in 14 and 15. And even in 2021, I wrestled in Elizabeth, Pennsylvania for a company up there 3 times.
Yeah.
IWC, International Wrestling Cartel. And I think I was in better shape then than I was in 06 and 07, just, physically and mentally.
Through all of it, I remember being in Virginia, and I get this notification that there had been a terrible car accident in West Virginia, and your name was attached to it. And I remember the gut punch. Please tell the folks, you surviving that and then the recovery from that. But let's talk about the car accident, because it was not a fun report to read. Please tell us what that night was like for you.
Well, I was going down to a buddy's house that I went to school with down here to watch football. It was on November 8th, and it was, of course, it was dark, and it had rained a little bit, and I was going around this curve here by the house, and when I made that curve, there, instead of one set of headlights coming at me, there was 2. So I don't know if a car was passing or they were racing, but I swerved, and when I brought it back up on the road, it caught and it rolled 5 times, even went up on its nose. And when it stopped, and knocked me out after the first roll, thank God. But when I come to, I was laying on my back and I was looking up, and the truck was on me across my chest here. It had broken 14 of my ribs, but it had severed my femoral artery. I had my calf was, they call it a degloving, but it was, my calf was ripped off. I had to have skin graft and, all that junk. But yeah, I woke up and my tire was still spinning. My truck was upside down, and I was looking at my rear tire, and there was a rescue guy under the truck with me and a nurse just passing by. And so I told Kevin Galford was his name. And I said, if you don't me, I was having trouble breathing. I said, tell my friends and family I love them. And that was the last thing I said to him. And then I went out again and woke up about 14 days later in Roanoke, Virginia at the hospital. And I was in ICU. I was on a ventilator, and I seen pictures of that, and it looked horrible. All the hoses and tubes and machines going on, but I made it through it. It was a long haul, and I even, went back to wrestling after that. So the good Lord was riding shotgun with me that night.
Harrison's here with me. Harrison, to hear that, right? Different deal.
Yeah, I would have tapped out like 3 times already, I think.
Like, just to say that, and again, to read about it, not have access, and then you're praying for your childhood buddy to, amen, find a way. And this guy is a walking miracle.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he's a mountain of a man, and he's been through some things that most of us, losing his son. But the best part about it is that he's still here, and he's living the good life. He's actually living the hog farmer's life, right? That you're up there living your best life, found love. You're healthy. How do you feel these days, Mark Canterbury?
I had a buddy just ask me that this morning. I feel good. Just the regular aches and pains. Like I got 2 tears in my rotator and torn labrum in my right shoulder that I've been babying for a year, just doing some physical therapy, working with bands. I still go to the gym over in Giles County, Virginia. I try to go once or twice a week and do some cardio, stretch, maybe do some machines. I don't bench anymore. I don't do any crap. I can't. But just try to stay active a little bit. And then around here, there's always something to do. You got hogs and chickens, and got the deer rolling in on you and the bear rolling in on you. So it's always a big adventure here.
Yeah, it's just fascinating. I'm always intrigued whenever I get the pop-up that Mark posted something, and there's pictures and videos, and I love it all. I'm so thrilled for you. Still, some of my, just to smile at your wedding pictures and the group of that motley crew that assembled at your wedding.
James Hughes, Jimmy Duncan.
Yeah, man, like the old Arlington crew, just hanging out. And again, one of my favorite nights was just when you and I ran into each other at the reunion. We just sat there and had a beverage and laughed. And like, I like to think of myself as a large human until you hang out with Mark, and then you realize, nope. He is one of one. We'll throw it to break. We'll come back. Mark, I'm going to ask you to do a thing. I'm going to ask you to build the perfect Godwinn Mania, right? That I need 5 matches that you get to book, any era, any building, and you can pick 5 matches. We'll get that from Mark Canterbury, from Henry Godwinn, when we come back to the Breeze.
Are you ready for a new opportunity? Check out Sandhills Global. Join a dynamic team where your skills are valued and your career can soar. We offer full-time positions with a 4.5-day work week, competitive pay, excellent benefits, and a positive work environment. From IT and marketing to sales and finance, we're looking for talented individuals like you. Apply today at sandhills.jobs and take the first step towards an exciting future. That's sandhills.jobs. Don't wait. Apply now.
In the midst of adversity, some are built to run towards the chaos. That's the drive that defines a Nebraska State Trooper. Mission-focused, service-minded, always ready. If you have the drive, we'll help you build a career. Applications are now open to become a Nebraska State Trooper. Numerous career paths, unlimited potential, making a difference for the people in communities all across Nebraska. Apply today at nebraskatroopers.com.
Noticing more dust at home? It may be time for duct cleaning from Bryant. Breathe easy and healthy. Call 467-1111. Bryant Air Conditioning, Heating, Electrical, and Plumbing.
Hey, it's Chad with Nutrition Authority inviting you to stop in and check out the #1 selling complete post-workout product, CPR. CPR is ideal for anyone who works out, exercises, or competes and wants to maximize results. CPR can only be found at Nutrition Authority. Stop in today, try a free sample, or visit us at mynutritionauthority.com.
Jack Russell of Farm Bureau Financial Services is here to help you protect things that are most important to you. Whether it's your home, your family, or your future, Jack Russell has the proven experience to get the job done while developing authentic relationships with you. Give Jack a call today at 402-421-9100. Again, that's 402-421-9100. Or visit one of his 2 locations in Lincoln or Seward and learn how you can excel in the complicated world of insurance. Jack Russell of Farm Bureau Financial Services, a trusted and well-respected representative since 1999.
In today's digital world, you can never be too cautious when it comes to your security. Cyber attacks are affecting more businesses every day. At Hamilton Business Technologies, we understand the stress and impact a cyber attack can have, not just on your bottom line, but on your ability to serve your customers and protect their trust. That's why we are passionate about safeguarding your business. From real-time threat monitoring to advanced security protocols, we help keep your data safe, allowing you to focus on what matters most. Hamilton Business Technologies. Real people, real technology solutions. Connect with us at hamiltonisbusiness.com.
At Lincoln Family Chiropractic, they believe everyone deserves to live a pain-free and active life. Whether it's neck pain, shoulder pain, or lower back pain, Lincoln Family Chiropractic specializes in customized care for every patient to promote faster healing, allowing you to get back to an optimal life. Lincoln Family Chiropractic's team specializes in treatments such as dry needling, cupping therapy, and traditional adjustments. Give Lincoln Family Chiropractic a call today, 402-484-5166. Visit them online at lincolnfamilychiro.com or in person, 1 block south of 70th and 8th Street in Lincoln.
Have you been injured in an accident and don't know where to turn? Do you need a lawyer you can trust to handle your case with professionalism and compassion? The attorneys at Liberty Law understand that a call to an attorney is a call for help. If you've been injured, we want to help you. Liberty Law's experienced attorneys are committed to the pursuit of justice for those injured. Contact us for a free consultation by calling 877-42-LIBERTY. Call Liberty Law and find out how we can help get you the compensation you deserve. Call 877-42-LIBERTY. Liberty Law Group. Trial attorneys you can trust.
This is Bill Mitchner, Executive Director of Lincoln Lighthouse. Did you know Lighthouse provides multiple programs for students such as one-on-one tutoring and mentoring, as well as pro-social skill exercises, while providing them a nourishing meal and a safe space during all months of the year, even during school breaks? Learn more or contribute to Lighthouse at lincolnlighthouse.org today.
Shopping for new flooring is different today. Getting your questions answered, making the right selection, getting the best value, and installed quickly and professionally. Visit ostreetcarpet.com or shop our store. We'll answer all your questions and help you make the right choice. You'll be enjoying your new floor in just days for less than you'd pay elsewhere. Carpet, vinyl, wood, laminate, tile, and area rugs. We've got it all.
O Street Carpet.
1732 O Street. Family owned and operated. Always the best value.
You're listening to The Breeze with DP and Haas on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Final segment with the big guy, Mark Canterbury, Henry O. Godwinn, 2-time WWE Tag Team Champion, all-around good dude. Mark, I was just telling Harrison about Barcroft Park, Little League Baseball, Black Knights, and us spending Saturday afternoons chasing foul balls for snow cones and hot dogs.
Wouldn't have traded them days for nothing.
You know, that they figured out the best way to get these baseballs returned was just to have the kids who weren't playing, you know, in that particular game time slot, chasing down foul balls. And it was we played a game called cup ball where we
Cup ball.
Yeah, right. Right? Well, we would you get Coke cups and you ball them into it and you throw them and hit them with your hand and run the bases, and just hours of community time of just young people and families being together. We were blessed. We were blessed 100%.
Man, that was an awesome time. They were just talking about cup ball the other day, and I bet I ate 1,000 of them snow cones down there. It's a wonder I didn't weigh 500 pounds.
Oh my goodness. Just to chase them down and collect them. And then, the trade exchange, it was a really good way. This is when I became interested in girls, because if I could get them a snow cone. And
cup ball.
That's it, man. That was it. Mark, here's what I'd love for you to become the promoter for one event, right? For one event, and you can pick 5 matches, any combinations of wrestlers. You can do tag team, you can do factions, you can do championships, whatever you want to do. Give me for Godwinn Mania, for Canterbury Mania, give me Mark Mania. Here we are. That's where we're going. Mark Mania.
Oh my God. You know what? I'll save us for last. But
as should be. As should be.
I would have loved to have seen, and I enjoyed both of them. And one of them was from Vienna, Big John Studd. I would like to see Undertaker and Big John Studd in one of his casket matches. That would have been one of my matches.
Oh, man. Oh, that would be so good. So good. Oh, well done. All right, that's the party starter. What's next?
All right. And then I would probably go. I was a big fan of Harley Race, the old school, back in the day.
Yep.
I would love to book him and Ric Flair in a big match.
Yeah, one more time. Handsome Harley Race. But I need the smoky bourbon bar Harley Race, not the blonde haired Harley Race.
Yeah, and that's what you would have got.
I need the bourbon bar. I need to clean up the bar Harley Race. So we need that guy, right? And Harrison, of note, in a future episode, I'm going to have Mark tell some of the best bar stories that can be told publicly.
Yeah.
All right. Okay. I'll watch the dump button on that one.
That'll be the R-rated after dark.
Yeah, 100%. 100%. So we've got 2 matches. What's in the middle?
I would like to see Sting and Lex Luger work each other. I mean, work the hell out of each other.
Yeah. Yeah. Apex Lex coming back from before he went to WWE in the transition. And young athletic Sting. Like straight off the beach, just after Dingo Warriors Sting.
There you go. all the flowing blonde hair. I want him to be red at the end of the match.
Yeah, that would be, and shout out to Lex finally getting in the WWE Hall.
Yeah, he's
that's going to be an interesting week. That's going to be an interesting week for sure. 100%. Okay, now you got to bring it home though. Let's bring it home.
Oh, let's see. Let's go with Mankind against, I want to see Ron Simmons in there. Me and Ron go back to the WCW days.
Yeah.
So since Mankind likes taking a beating, he likes taking a beating, and Ron likes dishing him out. Let's see who's standing. And I know that for a fact because I've been with Ron on the road outside of wrestling. So I know what Ron likes to do or can do.
He is a unit. He is a unit. Who are the Godwinns in the match with, Mark? Who are you gonna? Who's the show?
We are taking on the Dudley Boys in a hardcore match.
Let's do it. That would be spectacular. Hey, buddy, listen. I'm going to text you after we're done. We'll do this again very soon. Thank you. Happy birthday. Love you. Mark Canterbury, Henry Godwinn. Appreciate
Love
you, brother.
You too, buddy.
All
Keep in
right,
touch.
man. All right. That's an hour for you.